every country on the planet has a need for roads. Roads are one of the most important requirements for a country to develop into a successful society. It has been determined that the lowest common denominator for the success of the United States of America and other developed countries was the commitment to build a complete road infrastructure first. Case in point, in 1936 the United States of America was on par with the rest of the world as far as its development. There was a worldwide depression in the economy, and the unemployment was very high, and productivity was very low. Only segments of the population were being useful and productive. This population was both in large cities and ports and on farms and rural areas of the country. The railroad was the primary mode of transportation, but it limited the movement of people and products.
President Roosevelt, in an effort to pull the country out of the deep depression that was being experienced, decided to create work for the millions of unemployed workers. His thinking was that by putting people to work, he would create more money for the American worker, and in turn stimulate the economy. What he did not realize was that by creating a state road infrastructure network, he did a lot more than just create jobs. What he did was arguably the single most important act responsible for the speed of the industrial development in the United States. Roosevelt's road project was the one act that fueled the USA to become the most developed country in the world today.
The progress and growth that goes along with roads is the ease of installing wire and pipe utilities, because the equipment that is used to install and construct them has an easier and more economical means of accomplishing the job. This increases the workforce, and by mere nature of the work requires a higher skill level, which forces the requirement for more technically trained people. This puts a requirement on schools and training facilities, which feeds the industries that support these institutions. Roads connect the cities and the rural areas, creating more access to people, lower cost labor, decentralized facilities, and a larger workforce from the available population.
The traditional thinking of lesser developed, underdeveloped, and third world countries is not to put very much money into the road systems. It is widely common to see that the road infrastructure gets the least amount of the budget, and in most cases the money comes from donors which direct their specifications of where and what type of road to build. And of course, this may or may not be the best for the development of the country and or region.
Another very important reason for the lack of roads and road maintenance is the level of political corruption and price inflation from the private construction entities, which bleeds what monies that are available to the point where the amount of roads that can be completed is minimal and not effective. We have seen a combination of each of these scenarios, which has resulted in roads that are inadequate and or did not get completed. We have even found political persons who have blocked the development of roads because it would give other political persons or parties an advantage. An infrastructure needs to be planned and completed according to the plan to achieve the desired results. A government needs to commit to the spending of money to build a serviceable road system, or the growth and development of their country will be minimal at best. It will require the unselfish commitment of the entire government, including opposing political parties, to accomplish the task, and it will be for the good of all people. The accomplishment alone will create business and opportunity that is unimaginable. There are a very limited number of choices for the construction of roads. Traditionally, road construction is very expensive. The most expensive type of finished surface road is the concrete road. It requires a thicker, more expensive base. It requires expensive equipment and a higher level of skilled labor. The supply of concrete is sometimes not available in some countries, and the added expense of shipping road materials and equipment contributes to this high expense. Concrete is usually reserved for the use on bridges, city streets, superhighways, and airport runways. The cost of concrete ranges from $200,000 per mile to a reported $500,000 per mile. Concrete is so expensive that only the most developed countries use this type of road construction to any large degree. There are two versions of asphalt roads, a chip coat or thin cap and an asphalt cap. These types are the most common finished surface road used today. In certain areas, they have some of the same problems as concrete. There are some countries that don't have an adequate supply of oil, asphalt making plants, or installation equipment. They don't have the skilled labor level to construct a road, and it has to be imported. Asphalt requires a good long-lasting base, or it will break down and potholes and craters will soon develop, and the expense that has gone into the construction of this type of road will then require expensive maintenance to keep it in a usable condition. The first type of asphalt is less expensive. It's referred to as a chip coat or thin cap. The typical thickness of a chip coat road is 3/8 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. With this type of road, a thin asphalt layer is laid on top of a hard-packed base. Because of the thickness of the asphalt, this type of road relies solely on the quality of its base. A large number of poorer, lesser developed, or underdeveloped countries select this type of road because it's lower cost. They do this so that they can get more roads for their money. Unfortunately, what occurs in many cases is that the usable life of the road is very short, because the emphasis of construction was not placed on the road base. Eventually, the base fails, and the country does not have the adequate money to maintain and repair the roads, causing them to deteriorate into an unusable condition. The cost of this road ranges from $80,000 to $150,000 US per mile. The other type of asphalt road is the asphalt cap road, which ranges in thickness from 1 inch to 4 inches. This type of road is more expensive and requires a more substantial base. It requires more material than the chip coat road and requires a more expensive type of manufacturing process and application equipment. This type of road is a finished road that, if constructed properly with a proper base, will give many years of service. As with the chip coat road, the base is its weak point, and if the base fails, potholes and craters will form and once again require extensive maintenance. Often, it is trucks with larger payloads that cause damage to these types of roads. The larger the payload, the more damage that is generated to these roads. The most common thickness for general traffic asphalt road is 2 inches. Asphalt cap roads are less expensive than concrete roads, but their cost still ranges between $125,000 to $250,000 US per mile. In lesser developed countries, donors, banks, or donor countries usually provide the money for asphalt roads. This happens because the expense and lack of commitments that are typically given by the governing body of the subject country is not always adequate. Asphalt roads are primarily used for the construction of city streets and connecting roads between the majorly populated areas. Also, this type of road is often used for the construction of the major truck transportation thoroughfares in support of commerce. The major advantage of this type of road is that it services well during inclement weather. Dirt and gravel roads comprise the vast majority of the roads in the world today. In the lesser developed third world countries, these types of roads, being the majority of the type of roads in the country, are the main reason for the lack of growth and development in the country. The main problem is that these types of roads impede the flow of goods and services. They also destroy transportation vehicles due to the extreme wear caused by road conditions. There are statistics that indicate that the life expectancy of trucks which travel on dirt and gravel roads is only about 3 years, whereas trucks that travel on finished roads last many times that. During rain and inclement weather, dirt and gravel road conditions deteriorate from a level of marginal usability to total non-use during periods such as monsoon rains or winter snows. Even though dirt and gravel roads are less expensive to build, these types of roads are very expensive to maintain, and because of the enormous amount of roads, maintenance on all of them becomes impossible. This maintenance overload can halt the growth and development of any country that depends on dirt and gravel roads, because it results in the lack of adequately usable roads. Even though dirt and gravel roads are initially less expensive than other types of roads, there is still a large overall expense associated with the construction and maintenance of this type of road. A dirt and gravel road normally requires several sizes and types of aggregate that, in many cases, has to be trucked into the area for the construction of the road. It also requires a considerable amount of time to properly work and compact the soil to create a base that is going to be serviceable. One of the problems with the dirt and gravel road is that if you decide to cap it with asphalt or concrete, you cannot. You would have to reconstruct a base capable of supporting the particular type of finished surface road you wish to construct. Dirt and gravel roads cannot be used as bases because they will not support the finished surface roads adequately. Of course, the largest cost to a dirt and gravel road comes from constant maintenance. This type of road requires constant regrading, reshaping, and shoulder dressing. At best, this type of road is not serviceable in wet or inclement weather, and that lack of serviceability slows commerce to a near halt. The quality of this type of road only requires an observation of your present roads to illustrate what kinds of problems are present with these roads. The cost of properly constructed dirt and gravel roads ranges from $50,000 to $80,000 US per mile, plus the cost of the constant, continuous maintenance budget. Pure Crete is a product that is especially designed and has been used for many years to provide roads to the lesser developed and emerging third world countries. Pure Crete is an affordable means of developing a road infrastructure that will support the growth of the economy and provide a method of converting the secondary feeder roads into serviceable transportation arteries. Pure Crete roads are made with the native soil and will provide an all-weather serviceable road for up to 8 years or more. Pure Crete is not a new product, but rather it has been quietly used all over the world for over 15 years. It has been previously used by the road contractors as a means of lowering the cost of road development to create better profits at a lower bidding cost for the contractor. We at Pure One elected to offer this solution directly through our distributors to the governments to best benefit countries that most need these roads to grow and develop their economy. Pure Crete embodies all the advantages for development of a feeder road infrastructure without having the disadvantages that accompany other types of roads. A Pure Crete road is classified as a usable base road. This means that by itself, Pure Crete can be used to construct a road that is as hard as a traditional finished surface road. It can withstand adverse weather conditions without turning into a mud pit, and it is this ability to remain hard during inclement weather that causes Pure Crete roads to not require surface maintenance. This durability offers a country the best of both worlds, insomuch as the base need only be paid for once. As a country develops and can afford to add a finished surface layer, the Pure Crete road that has been in use up to now can now be used as the road base. As one government official branded the Pure Crete road, it is a usable work in progress. There is no other soil stabilizer product of this type that is warranted by its manufacturer for a period of up to 8 years. We are able to offer this warranty because of the serviceability that the Pure Crete roads have demonstrated. The compacted layer becomes almost as hard as a rock, and water will not soften it into mud as it will with a dirt and gravel road. The structure of a Pure Crete road is the result of the fusing of the dirt particles together to form a very hard and compact bond that has a compaction level of around 105%. The multiple types of enzymes used to make the product is designed to bind a wide range of different types of soil, which avails the use of Pure Crete to be effective with 80% of the different soil types. The fact that Pure Crete uses the native soil contributes in part to the affordability of a Pure Crete road. The process for construction of a segment of a Pure Crete road is a 2-day and 2-day only process. Because of this, the construction of a Pure Crete road saves enormously on labor, fuel, and equipment. Depending upon the weather, the curing time is only 72 hours. This is compared to up to 2 to 3 weeks for a comparative segment of the construction of a dirt and gravel road. This is an advantage when considering local traffic detour issues. The cost of a Pure Crete road is a mere fraction of the cost of other road construction options. Pure Crete is also the only usable base that comes with an 8-year warranty, eliminating the risk and making this product the only logical choice for a government that needs road improvement for its secondary feeder road system. The equipment that is required to construct a Pure Crete road is minimal. It only requires 5 different pieces of standard equipment which are normally readily available in most countries. To construct a long segment of road in a timely fashion, the use of multiple pieces of certain equipment is recommended. For example, It normally requires 2 drum compactors per grader, and if the water source is off-site, it may take 2 or more water trucks to provide continuous product availability for application. The advantage in constructing a long segment of road is that the operation is divided into 2 teams, and the operator does exactly the same thing every day. This allows workers to become more and more skilled at a specific task. The team that does the first day operation does the first day operation every day, and a different team does the second day operation every day. This means more roads for your money with heightened efficiency. Training operators is accomplished in less time and with less effort because the same task is repeated over and over. This is much different than the efficiency of other road construction methods.
Pure Crete construction teams require at least 5 operators, 2 support laborers, and a supervisor. A high production team can range up to 8 to 10 operators and 3 to 4 support persons. Production teams will also require maintenance support, fuel and water supply, food, relief facilities, and possibly lodging facilities for the crews. There are many benefits to building a Pure Crete feeder road system. It is an affordable method for providing the connective network that is needed to get food, material, supplies, and people from the rural areas to the cities, ports, and centers of commerce. It provides an affordable means of developing a road system that is serviceable year-round and has a warranted usable life of 8 years or more. This warranty provides a no-risk environment for the political members who are responsible for its approvals. Because of the affordability of Pure Crete, it is almost transparent to the economy. Pure Crete road construction does not compete or interfere with the major road projects in the cities, primary roads, and superhighways which are usually built by major construction companies. In fact, it can be used to enhance them. Due to the number of feeder roads that exist, their construction and upkeep would typically far exceed the capacity of traditional road contractors. Since the cost of Pure Crete road construction is so much less, more roads can be built in less time and with less future maintenance than with traditional road construction methods, and not exceed the average country's financial capabilities. The benefit of a Pure Crete road system is that it will provide the fuel for the growth and development for all segments of the country, and the real benefit is in the growth of the country as a whole. Some of these benefits are the products, services, and industries that arise to support a developed feeder road system. These include things like fuel stops, mechanical facilities, eating establishments, sleeping establishments, and the jobs to support all of these entities. Another benefit of the Pure Crete road system is that it allows the finished road surface to be added at a later time without having to go through the expense and effort of reconstructing the road base. This is a tremendous benefit in cost savings. Another benefit is the serviceability of Pure Crete roads during the rainy season. Unlike dirt and gravel roads, which are vulnerable to wet weather and often deteriorate into a muddy mess impeding the efficient flow of traffic, goods, and services, Pure Crete roads can withstand inclement weather. An unparalleled benefit that is available with the Pure Crete road system is that it avails itself to be implemented by a government department or agency, such as the Military Corps of Engineers or a Department of Public Works. This is the most inexpensive way for a country to develop its feeder roads, and closely simulates what the USA did under the Roosevelt era. In this case, the labor and equipment is already budgeted and paid for by the government, so it does not present an added expense, just a redirection in the mission. If the equipment is not available, a purchase would only be a one-time capital expense, and the equipment is easily obtained through donor channels for purposes of developing a road system. With this in mind, the only added cost for a country to develop a feeder road system would be for the product itself and the consulting, training, and supervision that would be provided by the local distributor for Pure in that country. The economic and financial proposal is unequaled by any other product or system available on the market today, and no other product can provide the quality of roads that Pure One Environmental's Pure can supply to your country at anywhere near the cost. It's your country, it's your future, and Pure can be your door to the growth of your economy and the prosperity for your people.